Hello everybody and welcome to the final round of the first season of the United League Championship. We are 40 minutes into the 40 minutes? We are 40 seconds into this qualifying session. The cars are just starting to leave the pit lane now, and as I just said, it is the finale this week and we will see all of the battles played out. Sorry we're a little bit late, but quite a number of people were updating their Xboxes, so we had to wait for about 4 or 5 people, but we have been later with worse reasons, so I'm sure you can forgive us this time. And it's just me today in the commentary box, and I'll be talking you through all of the sessions, and then at the end I'll do a quick little roundup of the entire season in terms of the championship, so you're all up to speed about how things finished. But basically, both championships are over. The F1 League have sealed both of them, with Dizzy Cupid claiming the drivers, and obviously them also claiming the league championship. There are a few interesting battles. I haven't actually got the updated standings on me, but there's a bit of a battle between SRL and CRL, and a battle which should be taken by RRL, between RRL and BPRL. RRL are a good number of points clear on that one, about 15, so they should keep that position. But it is still all up for grabs there. And going through the driver lineup, we have Jay Pearce for UCRC, the only driver for them, and then we have Cyril Rosberg and Hamilton for CRL, Rapids and Burnout F1 for RRL. The F1 League is Pro Racing and Dizzy again. SRL is Mike Marshmallow and RBZ. Formula X is Stop Matt and Sam. And then BPRL is the Mighty Midget and Z Racers. So let's get on board now with CRL on Cyril Rosberg on his lap. It is a 17.7 first sector, and he's now going down the straight, opening the DRS, getting ready for this crucial braking zone, which can make or break the lap, along with the next braking zone after this, trying to get it nicely through the chicane to get a slingshot exit onto the second straight, but isn't actually fully straight. Little bit of a curve there, and another one coming up here, making the braking zone just that little bit harder into another chicane, which again is very tricky, opening up onto quite another big curb, and a left-hander where you can run wide, but this game will punish you if you do that by invalidating your lap, so we shouldn't see cars doing that into this downhill braking zone, which is very tough, opening into another 2 left-handers, getting close to the wall here on the exit, but obviously not hitting it, and then 2 right-handers to finish the lap, where it's crucial to carry as much speed as possible. Coming into this one now and exiting, and coming across the line, and it is a 1:39.1, the first lap to be set, and Mike Marshmallow has just gone 6 tenths behind, a 10th quicker in the first sector, but losing 4 tenths in the second and third sector. Here's Jay Pearce, a 17.8 first sector, 42.0 second sector. So a little bit off Mike Marshmallow. Jay Pearce has had a bit of an up and down season. I think he's going to be happy with a few of the results that he's had there. He had a 5th in Spa, and in Austria he obviously had that good qualifying with a 3rd place. I think he's been pretty solid at most tracks, but qualifying is something that I think he's not at his strongest, so we've usually seen him down there in qualifying and then making inroads a little bit in the race. He goes 4th with a 1:40.5, 6 tenths quicker than RBZ, who obviously had... interesting. I thought he would have had a particularly poor sector with a mistake, but he was off a little bit in all the sectors there, unfortunately for him. But I'm sure he will improve. Obviously, RBZ coming off the back of 2 podium positions, so looking pretty good for him. And he's doing another lap on the bounce of this first lap that he did that was off the pace, and this one's looking quite a bit better in the first sector, but slower in the second sector, suggesting it is an in-lap. And interesting to see Pro Racing on the prime tyres. He's not a fan of the prime tyres. He's well known for having lots of sliding on the prime tyres and preferring to go with the softer compounds. We saw last week in his debut race in that and we've been kicked from the session. So we're going to have to be restarting. I don't believe that is me lagging out, because in that case the stream would go. I think this is a game glitch where everyone gets kicked. Sorry, I didn't finish that sentence because I went off to the menu. Yeah, when you press Xbox button, it takes you back and pauses the menu. So I mustn't do that to keep the stream going. So yes, everyone is being kicked from the lobby. So we're going to have another session. I'm going to have to set it up. So you can now see me set up the lobby, which is very exciting. Right. Okay. Ooh. I thought it was going to be preset to the settings that I wanted. The track is, but not everything else. And now we can prove to you that the assists are banned, that I've been talking about all season long. And Jay Pierce has joined the session, which isn't great, because I want Reese to be the host. And they're all joining now. That's not good, because I usually leave and then let Reese be the host, but I guess he's just had a lobby that failed, so yeah, that's not great. I will go into game chat quickly, just to tell these people to stay in the lobby when I leave, and then I'll rejoin. Right, so we are back now. Back in the lobby. Burnout F1 is host. I'm not sure how good his connection is, but we'll go with it. Let's just hope it's okay. Always hate when this happens. Hopefully they fix it for F1 2016. We've had a few problems like this in the F1 league in the past. It means that we are very late. Because it's quite an early start though, 6:30's reasonably earlier. We'll stick with full qualifying. So Burnout says that his connection isn't good enough to be host, so he's now going to do what I just did and leave and rejoin again. Yeah, there we go. Who is being made host? No, Sarah Rosberg's the one with bad connection. Sarah Hamilton should be okay. We'll go with it. I'm sure it'll be okay. 14 people, obviously plus me. It should be 15, but we've only got one UCRC. So there we go. That is the grid. We'll let Stopmat select his car, and then we'll be going back in for another attempt. I never thought I was going to be commentating on setting up a lobby, and that's why I always start kind of when qualifying's getting underway. I press start stream when qualifying starts and wait 30 seconds before I start streaming, because the first 30 seconds nothing happens in qualifying. And I always skip this out because I'm thinking, what am I going to say? I do my introduction in qualifying, so you don't want me to be doing an introduction then and then talking the whole way through qualifying, because sometimes it's nice to leave a little bit of a gap in your commentary to just let them watch the cars do a lap of pure gameplay on around the track. But I'm not sure. We'll probably have plenty of time now to show you lots of that. Just cars going around and me not having much to say about it. Because I can update you on the timings and everything, but at the end of the day you can see that anyway, so... So here we are, joining you once again, and we'll let David Croft introduce us this time.
Here we are at the beautiful Yas Marina circuit where qualifying is about to begin. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the action.
Cheers, Crofty. Much appreciated. And thanks for adding a little bit there. So, obviously, the laps are now wiped off. So, Cyril Rosberg's provisional pole time is gone. And I'm sure people will be very eager to get out on track this time round. Obviously, having the delay, they will just want to get on with it, really. And those who didn't go on track, especially. But no one going out just yet. Ooh, hoo-hoo. Who was that in the Sauber? Very cheeky by whoever that was in the Sauber. Sam, going quite slowly. Although I suppose Z Racer is going quite quickly out of the pits. So apparently the lobby was laggy before it got kicked last time. So we'll see if it's any better this time. Let's hope it is. We've got people in the chat putting hashtag Team SRL. 10 viewers so far. Z Racers. He's going to be the first person to set a lap. There is... no, you can't look backwards. I thought we could look backwards on this camera, but obviously not. So he's going to be the first one to set a lap, unless someone passes him, but he seems to be going quite quickly on this out lap. Tyre wear around here. Softs last quite a long time, but the super softs don't, so it's quite an interesting one round here. Obviously we had last week Brazil, where if you can make the option tyres work, they can almost last as long as the primes. You can't do that round here. There's it's something like 8 laps I think on the primes you can do quite comfortably, 5 at most on options. Someone has just put Team RRL in the chat, so yes, lots of, well, 2 different leagues supported. So it's a 17.5 first sector for Z Racers, which I believe is better. I think he had a little bit of a slide in the third sector. I didn't realise it cost him time, but it obviously did, and that's why he's coming into the pits. Let's find someone else. Dizzy Cupid, a 17.4 first sector, which is obviously the quickest so far, but not that much quicker than Mike Marshmallow. Only a 10th up in that first sector. Mike Marshmallow is 6/10 quicker than the Mighty Midget, so haven't actually seen Mike Marshmallow for a few weeks on this game. I think Camendo did the last round, and the round before that SRL only had 1 person, so obviously Mike's been practicing a lot in preparation for this final race. Yeah, pretty solid first 3 races before his break, so but he was good on strategy. He tried different strategies, but I wouldn't say he had the out-and-out pace. But here it looks like he does, so good on him. As Dizzy Cupid comes round the final corner, finish off the lap, and it is a 1:38.6, which is 2/10 quicker than Burnout, who's now put himself into 2nd place. So not that much clear. No, that's not a good way of phrasing that. Not much of a gap between Dizzy and Burnout there, and yeah, he wasn't even the fastest in the 2nd sector, and his other 2 sectors were nothing amazingly quicker than everyone else, but still a little bit. Looks like everyone is doing their in-laps now. I don't know what Reese is doing. Pro Racing did a 1:41.1 on the prime tyres. Obviously still sticking to his guns of doing the prime tyres here in qualifying. And struggling for pace there. 2.4, half a second off the next car. Stop Matt, another 6/10 behind him. We saw a very close field in Brazil last week at a high speed, then low speed circuit, so it's quite easy to get a flow round there. You've got the high-speed sections, and then the low-speed sections, which kind of helps, I would say, with getting into rhythm and making less mistakes. Here it's very stop-start. You've got those 2 long straights with slow corners, slow chicane afterwards, and then the first set you've got a couple of quick corners, and then that again another slow chicane. So it's more stop-start, more changey, harder to get into a rhythm, and therefore bigger gaps in times. And also there are, what on earth is Stopmat doing? That better not be a time lap if he's trying to get away with that. So yeah, there's more of a time gap, long track as well, so do expect a much bigger gap. And it wasn't a time lap from Stopmat, which is good, because A, it would have been not allowed anyway by the game, and we would have all seen it on camera and he would have been exposed. Cyril Rosberg is out there again. He is on a flying lap, but an 18.2 first sector is not what he wants, so he's obviously made a mistake there in that first sector. Jurassic Midget, who runs Formula Xbox, has said, doing the team proud. Stopmat. Hashtag Team FX. And we've seen a Team CRL in there as well, so we're trying to get all of the leagues hashtags in. Rosberg now finishing the second sector at 41.9, so he's obviously still going for it on this lap, because that's quicker than most. But it's weird from racers. I thought he would have finished that lap, because those first 2 sectors are strong, and even if he did make a mistake in the third sector, I still think it would have been a reasonably good lap. Sarah Rosberg losing some time there for sure behind the Williams. Williams going off to the side of the track, but that's really the racing line, so that would have cost Rosberg a little bit. I would have thought very hard area to get out the way unless you go to the left, but if you're already taking the corner, it's very hard to get out of the way. So 9th place for Sarah Rosberg. He's kind of done what Z Racers I thought would have done. So he's kind of had a poor sector, but still gone it through the second 2 sectors and done okay. Although Cyril Rosberg's third sector isn't great. So definitely a lot of time for him to find that. 18.0 this time round in the first sector. But again, that's still not really competitive. No, not competitive at all. And he was doing quicker before when we were with him. So, no, Reese has given up. He's given up on the prime strategy. He's obviously realised that being so far off the pace on the prime tyres isn't really going to get him anywhere. He's going to be starting too far back to get a good strategy out of starting on the primes. He's on an out lap. Is there anyone on a flying lap? Yes, there is. There's Rapids F1, who took 6th place last week after being reinstated. You would have seen he was disqualified around the final corner, but he was reinstated. I'm not sure what he was actually disqualified for. He track extended. He got like exceeded track limits, but not a penalty. He got a warning for it, and then for some reason the game disqualified him. We counted his cuts as we do. It was enough for plus 5 seconds, but nowhere near enough for being disqualified, so he was reinstated and took 6th position. He's just finished his lap, and he's gone into 7th place. Big gap, big gap between 4th and 5th, and Z Racers has set a lap while we weren't watching, and has managed to put himself behind Burnout. Rosberg completes that lap, and is 1 second off, but he lost a lot of time in that first sector, so he might be 5th, a long way off 4th. That had he got that first sector right, he would have been right up there with 4th, and then it's only a few more tenths to gain in the rest of the lap to be battling for 2nd. So Cyril Rosberg, don't count him out of a good position just yet. He's still got 1 stint left. That was Burnout, I think, just retiring, was it? How do you know if someone's retired? I don't even know. I think it was him retiring. I saw something come up at the bottom, but I didn't really have time to read it. Dizzy Cupid is now on the prime tyres. and his engine is having some serious problems. So we're going off him. That's a very, very frustrating noise. The car bouncing off the rev limiter. Rather mad. Reese is on a slow lap. That's not competitive at all through the first 2 sectors. And here comes Jay Pearce to finish his lap. Bit of debris there, so someone's crashed going across the line. It's a 140.3 for Jay Pearce, which is 9th ahead of RBZ, Reese and Stockmat. So only a little bit behind Rapids. So potential there for Jay Pearce. As I said, stronger in the races. So watch out for him in the race. Don't know what Reese is doing here. A 17.7 in the first sector. So yeah, now he's up to speed now. And after a slow lap, he's now going for it on this one. A 4th place last time out in Brazil, but missed out on the podium due to a spin, which gifted RBZ that 3rd position. Would have been a close battle between them, but we were unfortunately robbed of that, and saw all kinds of other carnage instead in those final few laps. Not a very tidy chicane whatsoever, and I would have thought he would have lost a little bit of time there running onto the main straight. But as I said, you're hitting top speed anyway, so you're not going to lose massive amounts of time. Obviously you do lose a bit still. And he's sliding an awful lot. And you can see he is right on the edge. And it's quick. I think it will improve from his 11th position, I think. But not that much. And I think he might have now run out of fuel. So I think that slow lap that he did, he was obviously made a mistake, then tried to slow down and save fuel. But it hasn't worked. He's run out of fuel, and that's his lap ruined. So he's got to do a quick turnaround. He's only got 1 minute 20 to turn it around. No, 2 minutes to turn it around, because it's about a 1 minute 40 lap. So he's going to have to turn that around and get out the pits quite quickly if he's going to have a proper run. Going out the... Well, actually, no, I do. No, I do get what he's doing, actually, because that lap that he did the first time round might not be the best lap he could possibly do around this track, and possibly he was trying to improve and go quicker on the primes after doing a kind of 75% lap on the options, but he couldn't improve. The delta obviously too much between the tyres, and therefore he had to give up on that one. Here's Mike Marshmallow then, up there in 4th at the moment, but 3/10 down in this first sector on this lap. So that's not going to do that much. We'll go on board with Mighty Midget instead then. Is he making any improvements? No. Again, he's not quite so much down as Mike, but still a little bit, about a 10th off his previous pace. He's coming into the braking zone now, and hoping, I'm sure, that that Williams car does not hold him up. There's plenty of space now to get out of the way, or he might just carry on going and finish his lap, so it shouldn't be a problem. Mighty Midget navigates the final 2 corners with a little bit of a slide there off the curb. He's run it wide again at the final corner, and he would have lost time there. Is it an improvement? I'm not sure if it is. No, it isn't. It's half a second. So he can't go ahead of Cyril Rosberg, which I'm sure would have been his aim. Cyril Rosberg is someone who can go a lot quicker though, we believe. Reese has got plenty of time to go out on track. So is Dizzy, who's now going back onto the option tyres. Is Cyril Rosberg out there again? He isn't. Cyril Rosberg isn't out there, so he's obviously in the garage or retired, and in that case he's not going to have enough time now to go out on track and do a lap. So I think Cyril Rosberg, to be honest, he'll be in 2 minds over that. He'll think, I could have been possibly 4th was definitely on the cards if he got that first sector right, and then he could have possibly gone even better around the rest of the lap and gone 3rd or 2nd. But he'll be happy that he's at least got 5th. So there is area for improvement. Is there anyone on a lap? No, there isn't. There's just people on out laps. It is time then, I think, to go on board with Dizzy and see if we can watch a lap on board with Dizzy. Although I'm not sure if all of his competitors have retired, will he actually bother with his final lap? I hope he does, but I'm not sure if he is. I think he's just backing off. We're going to watch this, obviously, last qualifying session. He will be the last man to cross the line, and no offence to everyone else, but Dizzy has been by far the best driver in this league. So we can all enjoy a lap with Dizzy Cupid for one final time. It will go to the game camera halfway through, but I'll just let you enjoy this lap. And he's obviously down on his lap time and he's backed off right before the end. He's going to do some celebratory donuts, some late donuts for being champion. Obviously he couldn't celebrate at the end of last race as he would have lost the win. So he's now doing donuts at the end of his qualifying. There we go. I'm not sure how good that lap was up until then, but unfortunately there was a bit of lag, so it wasn't really a true representation of how he would drive. Reese has managed to get up to 5th there right at the end, so I didn't think he was really on the pace, but he's managed to get a decent lap and go into 5th. The rest of the order has stayed the same, with Rosberg 6th, Midget 7th, Sam 8th, Rapids 9th, J Pierce 10th, RBZ 11th, Stopmat 12th, and then 13th is me. I'm ahead of Cyril Hamilton. Good for me. Cyril Hamilton not doing a lap. I don't know what it is about him in qualifying, but I don't think he's actually set a qualifying lap yet all season, which is a shame because he's a very quick driver, very good driver. I think he had one qualifying session where he did okay, but he can't get qualifying right, and I don't. Whether he's just not going out on track, I don't know, but he's just not really doing anything in qualifying, and it's a shame because he'd be getting really good results if he wasn't. No, he had a invalidated lap. That's why. So that's why he's 14th. Maybe he keeps on getting like the qualifying tyre glitch where you get stuck on the tyres. Maybe that's why. But it's such a shame because he could do a lot better if his qualifying was there. So, as per usual for the final time, I will start the race, pull over to the side, and then we can get on with things. Or I could just not press the accelerator pedal at all, to be honest. That might be easier. And we'll see what happens at turn 1. I've been in a few league races around here where there's been absolute carnage at turn 1. Once I went from 10th on the grid to 2nd by turn 2. So watch out for the carnage. Here we go. It's lights out and away we go. And the drivers are underway. And I've gone on the wrong button. I've pressed the race director, not the retire from session. There was a car spinning and there's 2 cars off in front. Mike Marshmallow is up into second position and he's alongside Burnout here coming into the braking zone. Let's look back behind him to see what the order is. It looks like, yeah, Dizzy has made a clean start at the front, but it was the other F1 League driver, Reese, from 5th on the grid, who's been involved in that collision. And he's right down the order now. Mike now battling with Burnout F1 down the long straight. Plenty of slipstream going on here. Cyril Rosberg in the background there. Mike Marshall has the inside line, but he's behind going into the braking zone. And Burnout takes the position, but Mike does a lovely little switchback. Very nice indeed. Now he's on the outside going into the next chicane, which isn't so much of a disadvantage. It's a little bit of a wider chicane, so he might be able to hold it around the outside. The brake, too late on the brake, and Mike has got through there. A little bit of lag, so we didn't see exactly, but Mike now has the inside line and is through. Burnout having a little bit of a fishtail on the exit, and now he's under from Cyril Rosberg. But Mike has got second position there. Burnout in third. Cyril Rosberg in fourth. Sam in fifth. Then there is a BPL driver of some kind in sixth. I'm not sure who it is, but Cyril Hamilton's had a good start. So not being able to get qualifying right, but he's already up there in seventh place now, battling for sixth there in the background. Let's change to that to see what's going on. I'm going completely the wrong way. What's going on? I think I saw a car coming into the pit lane, but not sure who it was. Reese there making the move on JP 73 in the background. And it's the Mighty Midget in sixth. The other BPRO driver of Z Racers a little bit further back. He would have been involved in the collision then. Him and Reese were obviously the two that crashed out. Thought it was a McLaren and a Ferrari, so those two have collided. And then there's a RRL car down there as well of Rapids F1, so obviously those three getting tangled up. There was a Williams going off as well, that must have been RBZ. So plenty of carnage on the first lap as the Mighty Midget now going on the inside of Sam. And no, they don't, no. Oh, I thought they just avoided contact there, but Midget has kind of squeezed Sam on the exit. And again, I can't say for sure whose fault it is because the spectator cam isn't always the most reliable thing, but from that view I think that was a little bit aggressive there from Mighty Midget, who's now up into 5th position. Cyril Hamilton in 6th and Sam a long way back now. So we'll go back now to the battle for 2nd position as Z Racers has made up a position there, and obviously Reese as well. On their recovery, they showed good pace in qualifying, so we expect them to do a little bit better here. Burnouts on the inside of Mike Marshmallow, and that's not usually an area where you would see overtaking, but you have seen it there. Burnout with a very, very good move indeed, and the Mighty Midget now coming onto the back of this group. Obviously lost time going side by side through that corner, very difficult to do without contact, so good driving from the pair of them. Burnout has the position, Mike in 3rd. Cyril Rosberg right behind him now. Burnout actually creating a little bit of a gap almost instantly after passing Mike. Already about half a second up the road. Well, no, maybe not half a second. That's overplaying my part there completely. And Mike has actually managed to close down that gap a little bit through the hairpin there. And with DRS, probably won't be able to pass Burnout, but will definitely be able to defend from Cyril Rosberg with the extra straight line speed, although Rosberg has got obviously DRS on him as well, so he can't get through around the first straight, but the second straight could be a possibility now for Cyril Rosberg, looking behind Mike Marshmallow, and hopefully this continues throughout the race. Cyril Hamilton has managed to pass Mighty Midget, so it's now 4th and 5th for the two Cyril boys as Mike Marshmallow he is sticking with Burnout now, so obviously Burnout's just maybe a little bit stronger through that first sector. That's why Mike lost a bit of time there, but he's doing alright now, managing to stick with him, which is what we want to see. We want to see good racing throughout, as Dizzy Cupid has gone down the road. He did consider not doing qualifying, did dizzy, but obviously in the end he did do that lap that put him on pole, and he's done the fastest lap now with a 1:41.2, and probably this lap or the next lap we will see the first stop as the tyres start to degrade a little bit. Cyril Hamilton has managed to get himself right behind Cyril Rosberg. We'll be seeing team orders here because Cyril Hamilton looks mega quick at the start of this race. We'll go to that battle now between the two teammates. We've seen plenty of fireworks between Mercedes cars on track in 2016 and other Formula, e.g. the real Formula 1. But will we be seeing it in the United League Championship here? Cyril Hamilton building up the speed on the DRS, but Cyril Rosberg obviously has DRS as well. Yes, he does, and that's why he's been able to stay in front, but he's had a little bit of a lock-up, and Cyril Hamilton's now going to go side by side with him. But he can't quite get the run on the exit, so it's still very close. No team orders here, is it? Lots of battling going on here for 4th and 5th position. Cyril Hamilton looking to the outside, then to the inside, doesn't make it stick, but he's virtually pushing Rosberg through this chicane here, but Rosberg has managed to get a very good run through there actually and extend the gap out a little bit to 0.2 of a second. We haven't actually seen too much battling between teammates in this series. There has been quite a bit of tame driving between teammates, completely understandable of course, because it's not like a normal league. It's not team, it's league. You are driving for your league. It's a little bit different for just driving and for a team in a normal league. It's representing your league and wanting to do well, and that's obviously why there's been tame driving. But CRL obviously not going by that, and some people are asking for the T-cam. So yeah, we'll go on the T-cam for a little bit. We'll go with the car behind. That's more interesting. Watching the car behind, Cyril Hamilton coming through the chicane and looking to see if he can do anything. But he's going to build a straight. Mike Marshmallow is still quite close to burnout, and then behind we've got still the mighty midget. Housen routine coming up here. And, he's quite easily taken that position with DRS. I can't remember whether there's 1 or 2 detection zones around here. I think there's 2. That's the detection zone there, and then DRS. So Rosberg might be able to fight back. We can see battling going on in front, but I want to stay with this battle as well. Mike Marshmallow looks to the outside, and is he going to make it move? Whoa! Mike Marshmallow through on burnout F1. What a move! Wow. So I'm glad we could see that in front. Very bold move there from Mike Marshmallow. He was side by side with burnout, but I mean, it is possible to go around the outside there into the chicane, but it is difficult, and to master it is very hard. Vettel made that move in 2012 on Button. That was a very good move, and Mike has just done it again. So obviously, very interesting stuff there. We'll go back to the broadcast camera now for a little bit to get a wider view of things, and we'll go to Burnout to see what he can do, and see if he can fight back on Mike Marshmallow. So no pit stops over the 2 laps I thought there would be. I don't think there's been. Why am I on this camera? That's such a bad camera. Don't know what. There we go. It just seems to get stuck in that camera sometimes. But I'll check the race director now quickly, just to see if anyone has pitted. Yes, RBZ and Rapids have pitted, but I think they were pitting for damage. And Jay Pearce is in the pits now, but no one making a pit stop yet, so they're obviously trying to stretch out this first set of tyres. Possibly a 2-stop, but I think a 3-stop's quick around here, I believe. But if you stretch out your first stint on options, you can do 3 option stints and 1 prime, as opposed to 3 prime and 1 option, or 2 of each. I usually do 2 of each. Mike covers Burnout off there. And Burnout, see, Burnout wasn't quite up enough alongside there. You have to be right alongside to have a chance in this chicane. Mike was always just going to be able to cover that off by just running it a little bit wide on purpose, really, because you don't need to have the greatest of exits, so you can just run it wide a little bit, as long as the car's not beside you, obviously. So that's the whole point of making sure you have to be a long way upside. So I'm sure people are going to be coming in this lap. Yes, but not all of them, just Burnout coming into the pits. So not too many people. Cyril Hamilton continues his charge. We're on board with him now. And so it's Eek. It's Eek. Is it? Is that how you say it? They are going to lap 8 and then prime. Yes, that is a viable strategy. You quite often see cars going like you can go 6 and then go prime, but that's a struggle on the prime tyres there. So I think you might be right there. Yes, they could be going lap 8 and then 2 prime stints of 10 laps. 2-stop strategy. If you're doing 7 laps on options in the first stint, then that's very odd, because then you'll do 4 stints over the race of 7 laps, and you'll be going 7 laps on primes, when you can go longer than that and get an undercut. So I don't think it's viable to do a 3-stop and pit this late, so I think they're all going for 2 stops. Mike Marshall now leads. Obviously Dizzy has come in from the front, but Cyril Hamilton keeping him honest throughout this lap. He's unlikely to be able to make a move in this final sector, although we did see Mike getting passed by Burnout earlier in the section of the track coming up next. So it is possible, but on worn tyres, I think they'll just want to consolidate here and just make sure they get into the pits without any dramas. And, well, actually, no, sorry, they're going to be doing what I literally just said, didn't I? That it's unlikely they'll be stopping on lap 7. They'll try and stretch out to lap 8, and then I was talking about them coming into the pits. So Mike crosses the line and does lead for a lap. But this lap could see a change to the lead. We'll check the race director as they go through this first set to see if anything's changed behind. No, it hasn't. Dizzy out in third. How can you only do a few laps in equal cars and come out ahead of a load of people? But apart from that, the order behind looks pretty much the same. Z Races, Reese, yeah, still in the same position. So pretty much the same order it was earlier. We'll go back to the battle now, as Cyril Hamilton with DRS will be looking to pass Marshmallow. These two definitely on a 2-stop strategy then. Even if they go onto the option tyres, again, they can probably still stretch out for a 2-stop. So these two could be putting themselves into a really good position by trying something different, or they could be putting themselves at risk. Mike Marshmallow now going around the outside once again. Can he do it again? Can he play his little party trick? Oh, yes he can, but not as clean that time. Not as impressive as his first time round. A little bit of a tap there to Cyril Hamilton. Hamilton braking a little bit earlier than Mike would have thought there. So the position's changed, but now they're back to how they were, with Mike in the lead, Cyril Hamilton behind. And they'll surely be coming in this lap. You're just going to lose too much time doing a 9th lap on the tyres, as well as qualifying, remember. Not for Hamilton, though. Hamilton's on fresh tyres, but it would be the 10th flying lap for Mike if he stays out. Oh my goodness me, he is staying out as well. Crikey. Oh no, he's not. He is coming in. Just a very late pit entry. So it's going to be a little bit of a battle of the engineers now. So as I said, these two put themselves into play here by doing this. And it could work out really nicely for them. Hamilton's jumped Mike there. Mike has lost position to Hamilton. They'll come out quite a long way back from where they were previously by getting undercut. But they can do one less stop now. So these two could be second and third by Dizzy. I think even with one more stop, Dizzy should still be able to claim that. And yes, we could see there Rosberg ahead of Hamilton. He was behind previously. And so too Mike Marshmallow, but crucially, they're both ahead of Z Racers. Burnett F1 pulling away in that second position now. Quite a long way clear. So, could be a good battle here for the podium positions now. Got that to all look forward to. Cyril Hamilton goes to the outside of stop mat. Gets it done with late braking. around the outside. Stockmat started on the prime tyres, so he's probably still got a few more, probably this in the next lap. And Reese has retired. Pro Racing, that's 69, has retired. Mighty Midget has left the session. So, obviously a collision has happened between Reese and the Mighty Midget, and it's resulted in Reese going either out of the race through damage or through breaking his car and him rage quitting, and so too with the Mighty Midget. But yeah, something big has obviously happened there between the two of them. The Mighty Midget was obviously involved in another collision earlier with Sam, but he can't be penalised for that now, obviously, because it's the last race of the season and he's been knocked out anyway. So, in the battle for second in the Constructors, that's pretty much it now, really. RRL will have that with Burnout in a good position and BPRL with only one car left. RRL have secured, effectively, unless some miracle happens and Z Races comes through and wins the race and RRL get no points, then RRL have got second place in the championship. With regards to fourth place in the championship, or third place in the championship, make your mind up. If BPRL really struggle, then CRL might be able to go ahead of them, but I doubt it because CRL got no points last week, so I think it will be for fourth place the next battle. CRL in a good position at the moment in third and fourth, and SRL only with Mike in a good position. RBZ still down there. One more check of the race director for now. Burnout pulling away because he's on the option tyres, so that suggests he's definitely doing a 3-stop strategy, and that's why he's pulled away from Rosberg since the stop. Hamilton and Mike, we know for sure, are on 2 stops. Z Races, we don't know what he's doing. I think he came into the pits reasonably early, so again, he could, like Rosberg, go either way. J Pierce 7th. Stockmat 8th, started on the primes, now on the options, so pretty good for him being in 8th position, although the cars behind have all had problems, so that's quite hard to tell. But Stockmat hasn't had a great time of it. He's been out of league racing for a long time, so it was always going to be a challenge coming back in such a high level thing, championship, and obviously that's why he's struggling. But unfortunately, this pit stop phase that we've seen could play out interesting later, but for now, not too much going on out on track. And, the Mighty Midget saying his game froze under braking when Pro Racing ran wide, and then it said everyone disconnected. So obviously, yeah, there's this thing sometimes where you disconnect through everyone disconnecting from you. So you don't disconnect from your own lobby. You're still in the lobby, but everyone else has left, but it's still going for everyone else. So obviously he had that, and maybe that's why he took out Reese, because he was because his game is frozen, his car was going on. So seems like it was just an unfortunate an unfortunate incident. And the Mighty Midget says, not unlucky. This game is just, and then star. I'm not sure if that's Twitch. Does Twitch censor words, or has he censored it himself? Well, if someone could put that in the chat, that would be very good. Does Twitch censor words? I think it does, isn't it? Pretty sure it does. But yeah, really not much going out on track, unfortunately. We'll look through the drivers, see if there's anyone. But I believe that everyone's really spread out. Z Races is quite close by Mike Marshmallow, but Mike Marshmallow's got fresher tyres, so it'll be hard for Z Races to do anything there. J Pierce is in 7th position, quite a long way ahead of Stockmat in 8th. We know that there's a big gap between 1st and 2nd and 2nd and 3rd. Yeah, Stockmat comfortably in 8th. RBZ in 9th. Rapids in 10th, quite close to him, so a few cars close on track, but nothing really happening as RBZ comes into the pits now for his second stop. It's going to be a hard day for RBZ and for Rapids. They've made one stop for damage already. They're coming in again. They'll probably do a 2-stop, but it will end up being a 3-stop because of their first stop at the beginning for damage. So you get the disadvantages of a 2-stop through having to go long on your tyres, but problems of what's going on here? Sam is down in 13th. Does anyone know what happened to Sam? Obviously, we saw him had that collision with Mighty Midget and he dropped to the back. But that was only to the back of the line. He's now almost a lap down. And his car does not seem to be travelling in natural or normal ways. So, I don't know what's going on with that, to be honest. I didn't even realise he was still in the race because he's gone such a long way back. Dizzy has made his second stop, going onto the prime tyres now. He's going to be quite a long way back. He's going to have to do a little bit of overtaking. But it shouldn't be a problem for him because second place Burnout is on options, so he's not going to be able to do a 2-stop for sure. He could try it, but it just wouldn't work. So Dizzy's closest challengers are the cars that he's already coming up to behind, and already almost eradicated that pit stop deficit on only lap 13. So Epix Luna says he's on lap 3. Apparently Sam is on lap 3. Let me have a look. No, hang on. What's going on here? Here we go. Apparently so I don't know what's going on there really with Sam. Obviously he's had another problem. Cyril are back together. There we go. This is what we've been waiting for. Cyril Hamilton back behind Cyril Rosberg again. Last time Cyril Hamilton had the tyre advantage of having fresh tyres compared to one that had done qualifying. And now he's got the tyre advantage once again. But this time a bit more of a tyre advantage. 2 laps as opposed to 1 lap. Although Cyril Rosberg, actually no. Cyril Rosberg did his qualifying with 2 laps on his tyres that he set his best lap on. So actually, I'm lying. There was a 2-lap difference in tyre wear then, and there is now. As Burnout has come in from the lead. And you can see there Mike in 3rd and Dizzy in 4th. Mike and Dizzy, well, they don't. Okay, I'm going to take this with a massive pinch of salt. What I'm about to say is Mike and Dizzy have history in this league, but obviously that was through an incident caused by lag. So, obviously not the drivers themselves haven't got history, but there is the possibility, added possibility that they might collide due to lag, if they've done so before. Cyril Hamilton is building up behind Cyril Rosberg. And so the top 4 are really close there, so that's good to see. The top 4 nice and close, but Rosberg keeps the position for now. And, ooh, what's going on here? I think Mike... Looks like Mike and Dizzy have had a collision, so yes, it is possible they have had another collision with each other. We'll go on board with Cyril Hamilton now, but yeah, Dizzy and Mike have collided. They might not have collided maybe, but you would assume that they've collided. Hasn't lost Dizzy anything, but it has definitely cost Mike. As Cyril Rosberg comes into the pits. So yeah, 3 stop for him as well. Not going to be able to do 14 laps now. So, someone's put in the chat, Dizzy took Mike out. Well, we don't know that for sure. Mike could have caused it himself. I'm not saying it could be either way. But let's not jump to conclusions either way. We can't go back, unfortunately, but the sad thing is it has obviously cost Mike more than Dizzy. You never want to see that out of an incident. someone losing too much. But Dizzy now behind Cyril Hamilton. This should be a pretty easy move. Dizzy on much fresher tyres. And he won't make the move here. No, he will. Oh my goodness me, he's come from a heck of a long way back there. And that's a pretty aggressive move, but I think he kind of knew there that he could get away with that because Cyril Hamilton's on such old tyres that he would be braking early. And obviously Cyril Hamilton gave him the respect, gave him the room. And a very cheeky move there from Dizzy, very aggressive. So even though he's been running out of the front for most of this league, he hasn't lost his racecraft. Although actually, to be fair, Austria and Spa, he had to pass a load of cars for his second and first in those races. And Cyril Hamilton in second position now. And probably 3 more laps until he pits. So must be hell for him. Just watching Dizzy now pull away from him through every corner. But even on fresh tyres, Dizzy would still be hard to keep up with. So he's got to keep faith in this 2-stop strategy. I think it's going to pay off. I think this should be enough to get Cyril Hamilton second in this race. Burnout F1 could be close because he's running quite quickly on those option tyres at the moment. Or was Burnout, now on the primes. And you would think Burnout should pass Mike now. Mike, having had those problems with the collision, will have lost a lot of time. So you would have thought that Burnout could beat him. And yes, that should be the case, because Burnout is right behind him already. Z Racers there as well. Maybe Z Racers is trying to hang it out for a 2-stop too. There for BPRL. BPRL have got to try something. Get a good result if they're to overthrow RRL. But RRL look on for a decent haul of points here with Burnout. And Burnout is through there. So now Burnout, what he's got to do, he's got to spend 12 laps, especially over these next 2 and a bit laps, chasing down Cyril Hamilton. Obviously, it will come down to the last stint, but these few laps now crucial that he closes the gap to Cyril Hamilton. So 4th and 5th is Mike and Z Racers. And we'll check the race director once again just to see who's made their stops other than that. Cyril Rosberg, obviously we know he, like Burnout and Dizzy, is definitely doing a 3-stop strategy, but he used the prime tyres in the second stint rather than the option tyres, so he's now using the options now, so watch out for him making a little bit of a charge through now. And then we've got Cyril Rosberg, RBZ, and StopMat has made a 3rd stop for some reason, and that's odd. Sam is still well, obviously Sam has only done 3 laps then. When I looked up the lap times, it said he was on lap 13, but he is obviously on lap 3 because he hasn't managed to pass Pro Racing yet. We have now seen the fastest lap from Cyril Rosberg as Z Racers has lost a little bit of time there to Mike Marshmallow. He didn't go quite so long in the first stint. He pitted on lap 6. He's doing what I said you can do, but it's difficult. Pit on lap 6 and then do 11 laps on 2 set of primes to go to the end. So I think he's going to lose out here on this lap and then pit. This is a crucial lap now for him. And you can see Cyril Rosberg closing up behind on those option tyres. And yeah, I think Cyril Rosberg will probably beat Mike as well now. Having, once again, Mike having those problems has pushed him down quite badly. The 2-stop does seem to be the right idea, but if you have any problems, it's not going to work. The 3-stop's going to come and get you, as Cyril Rosberg looks very quick, especially compared to Z Racers. But obviously, unfortunately for StopMat, he's obviously had a collision because he's made his 3rd stop already, so he's unfortunately dropped right down. Oh, look how much more speed Cyril Rosberg has compared to Z Racers. He's just anywhere he could pass him, but Z Racers is doing a decent job of defending here, and he's staying out for another lap. He's determined to go long in this stint and not have to extend the last stint too much. I just can't see it working, to be honest, as he's going to lose too much time now. Cyril Rosberg goes swooping past. And look how much he's visibly about half a second quicker through that turn alone. Coming to the chicane section now, this is just going to be absolute hell for Z Racers going through here. No traction. And locking up his brakes a little bit as well there, losing so much time. And there is a Sauber behind, that's probably Sam who's lapped. I really don't know what's going on with Sam. I don't get it, because when I went on the view lap times, it was 13 laps he'd done, so that doesn't make any sense where or anything. So. But unfortunately, it does look like we've only got the top 6 really in any kind of race. The 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th have had a lot of problems with collisions, or Jay Pearce just seems to have just been generally off the pace, unfortunately for him. So he looked a little bit better in qualifying than he has been recently, but his race pace not as good as usual, because and he hasn't been right up there. I'm not saying he's winning in the races and struggling qualifying. It's yeah, that's Stockmat, who's also been lapped then. Stockmat has almost also been lapped in his 10th, so really not good for Formula Xbox. Their drivers 10th and 11th and both laps down. Z Racers now coming into the pits, and we should see Cyril Hamilton. Well, I was going to say we should see Cyril Hamilton and Mike Marshall in the pits too, but Cyril Hamilton stayed out. And wow, actually, maybe the 2-stop wasn't such a bright idea, because you can just see there with Z Racers, and now we're seeing it with Cyril Hamilton. Just the drop-off in pace is massive. And you can see Cyril Rosberg there, who was battling with Cyril Hamilton just minutes previously, is almost up with him already, having made his stop. So, yeah, I think, to be honest, actually, this 2-stop strategy might not pay off as good as it looked at one point. Obviously, as the fuel burns off, these drivers are just able to gain confidence on the 3-stop. Whereas on the 2-stop, just those older tyres, even with a car that's getting lighter, just can't gain as much time. And Cyril Hamilton will probably now be battling his teammate Cyril Rosberg for the final podium place. And, it should be quite a close run thing there. And then we should see Mike in 5th, Z Racers in 6th. And then, not sure about the rest really. RBZ and Rapids, as I said, will probably try a 2-stop, an effective 2-stop. But that might not be great. Although they can use all primes if they want. They can go 9 laps on each set of primes and not have to use the options, and that might make it a little bit easier for them wear-wise. So Cyril Hamilton comes in, and he's going onto a set of option tyres. So going very aggressive here. Not going prime, extending that stint an extra lap. And now trying to do 9 laps on a set of option tyres. His teammate has gone through, but he'll rejoin comfortably in 4th. I get that, to be honest. Mike's a long way behind him. Well, he isn't actually, but Mike was a long way behind him. So you might as well take the risk. He's still got a reasonably comfortable gap to Mike, and for the next few laps should be able to pull away on the softer rubber, as I would assume Mike is on the prime tyres, having pitted a lap earlier. Yes, he is. Very anticlimactic race, unfortunately, there. We've seen the field really spread out here. Rapids is in 7th and RBZ in 8th, so Rapids has managed to get past RBZ somehow. He's now on the option tyres and RBZ on the primes. But yeah, we really haven't seen much battling at all, really, at the front recently. We did see plenty of battling at the start, but unfortunately it does look like that's all you're going to be seeing for battling near the front for this race. Looks like this battle here could be the big one, actually. You can see Jay Pearce in the background there. 10th of Stockmat, nowhere to be seen, a very long way back. So, again, Rapids probably going onto the option tyres, maybe just thinking, well, I'm only in 7th, I might as well try something different, maybe try and gain 2 positions on, maybe 2 stoppers coming back on me, going on to the options or something, I don't know. It's worth the risk when you're only in 7th maybe. That's why he's on the option. I'm not sure when he pitted, but option tyres from now to the end would be hard enough, and he's obviously been on them for 1 or 2 laps. We'll go on the standings quickly, as nothing's going on. They weren't updated for round 4, so if you've been checking them online, for round 5, sorry, if you've been checking them online, you wouldn't have seen any updates. F1 Maestro, who does the standings, didn't receive the race director findings quickly enough. Rapids is in. So obviously Rapids was... I don't know, how has Rapids ended up so far behind RBZ? Because RBZ is... now RBZ's pitting as well, that's that's why it is. They're both coming in. I thought it was a little bit weird if RBZ was a pit stop ahead, but he isn't. Jay Pearce back up into 7th place now. I'm not sure if he can go to the end though. But yeah, basically the standings, the final 2 rounds will go on together because he didn't receive the race director, because I got sent it in a chat and then I had to leave that chat on Twitter because it did this thing where it, like, the chat duplicates. So I had to leave the chat, rejoin it, and then I was like, oh, I can't find the link now. So I kind of didn't know what to do really. Could have asked for it again, I guess, but I think it was too late by the time I realised what I'd done. But it's not a massive problem. Standings, race director still have been done. Standings will be done. Right, nothing going on here, is there? Sam is dizzy. Sir Hamilton back into 2nd place now. But he's got Burnout F1 behind him with 7 laps to go. Yeah, 7 laps to go. 6 and 2/3. You would think this will be easy for Burnout to get past. Burnout's obviously pitted reasonably soon, but Hamilton has to do 9 laps on them, Rapid 7 laps on them, and that is a pretty big difference when it really comes down to it, so should be easy pickings for Burnout. Did I call him Rapids? Sorry, he's Burnout. Rapids is the one who's down the order. I do apologise. Sarah Hamilton coming through the chicane now. I've said that quite a few times now, haven't I? Sarah Hamilton coming through the chicane now. That's just my trademark line. And Burnout closing in through these tight bends. As that's really, I suppose the high-speed turn 1 as well. That's really where you're going to be losing your time. These short corners, one after another, where you just start sliding and then you lose time on one corner, carrying it onto the next. And that's where you really lose time. Obviously, he's not going to be getting that yet, but still not ideal to be on slightly older tyres than the car behind, however old they are. Through the chicane now, and this is a good chance for Burnout to get through now. He's quite close, and obviously DRS here, and then another DRS straight after that. Well, he's not closing in too much for now, so I think it will be on that second straight where he makes the move if he is going to. He does look very close now. And where is he going to go? To the inside or to the outside? Cyril Hamilton goes to the inside. Burnout goes to the outside. Cyril Hamilton more like in the middle of the track though. And that really covers off Burnout quite nicely through that. Cyril Hamilton remains in second position. But really, realistically, it's only a matter of time until Burnout passes Hamilton. And in the background you can see that Cyril Rosberg is in 4th. And then Mike Marshall in 5th. Z Racers in 6th. All quite close to each other actually. So we'll watch out for Z Racers closing up on Mike. Obviously Cyril Rosberg on fresher tyres will easily be able to pull away from them. But I'm not sure how much fresher his tyres are. But he should be able to pull away a little bit through there. And you would imagine it will be a battle between Mike and Z Racers. The question for Cyril Rosberg is more, can he beat his teammate? We finally got someone saying hashtag Team TF1L. It's not the same, is it? The acronym for the F1 League isn't the same. But obviously the Team Championship finally getting some support in the comments. No one likes them. And Burnout now going around the outside. He squeezes Hamilton against the apex. And Hamilton sweeps around the outside in the second part of the chicane. Good move. Wasn't backing out of that. Burnout aggressive. Pushing Hamilton quite a long way to the inside, but Hamilton wasn't having any of it. And once again blocking the inside. And the middle of the track. He's got a good line through there going into that chicane. Really making it difficult for Burnout. And Rapids has left the session. That's, you can imagine, a disconnection. So that's unfortunate for him. And Burnout is really being held up now. And Cyril Rosberg is gaining all the more. Cyril Hamilton is becoming a very popular man at Cyril Rosberg's house. Well, I don't think that was my greatest acronym, because it's not going to be the whole house, is it? It's just going to be Cyril Rosberg himself, who's done the fastest lap. So he is really on a charge. Dizzy won't be happy about that. Dizzy Cupid will be... Oh, no. Cyril Hamilton's ran it wide. And all that hard work has been lost at a corner that you really wouldn't expect to be passed at. But he's ran it a little bit deep there, and it's really cost him. Thankfully for him, though, he's kept it in the DRS zone. So he could try something audacious. I hope he doesn't, though. Because trying a move on old tyres usually ends in disaster. And Burnout able to keep the position. And with that, securing his second position now until the end of the race. No way that Cyril Hamilton is going to be able to come back at him now. He's too far back down here, I would imagine. And yeah, Burnout's got that. So yeah, it will be a question of the Cyril boys then. And still, 5th and 6th are Mike and Z Racers. No, Mike nowhere to be seen. Mike, sure, I saw them really close out. Yeah, they're a long way away from each other now. So, no battle for 5th then. It's going to be about this battle then, I would imagine, between the two CRL boys who've had such a disappointing championship. As I said earlier, Cyril Hamilton's had a problem with qualifying. Cyril Rosberg disconnects all the time. It's just been a disaster for them. I feel really bad for them, because they're two really good drivers, and they should be up there really fighting with RRL and BPRL, but instead they just haven't had the best of times. And I'm not sure they might be able to beat BPRL, but as I don't have the standings from last race, I'm not sure how far ahead BPRL were from them. But I believe it was a pretty big gap, so I don't think they're going to be able to topple them unless Z Racers drops well and truly out of the race from 6th. I think those 8 points should be comfortably enough. So yeah, oh my goodness me. Z Racers has left the session. I've jinxed it, haven't I? I have jinxed that completely. Z Racers drops out from 6th position. I'm going to desperately now try and work out what the standings are very quickly between myself and let's see, what was the gap? Okay, so after round 4, the gap was 17 points. Cyril got no points last week. BPRL got 7th and 8th, which is 10 points. So the gap is 27 points. So they're going to be tied. It was definitely 7th, wasn't it? 7th. Yeah, 7th and 8th BPRL got last time. CRL are 3rd and 4th now, which is 27 points. So yeah, they're going to be level on points. So obviously, what CRL have got to do is just make sure they get to the end of the race. If these two collide and they lose position, they lose third place. But I didn't realise it was going to be so close. But unfortunately, we've got a really tense situation here in terms of Mercedes making sure they don't crash, but they don't have a clue about it. And this could end in complete and utter disaster for both of them. But I'm sure that they're very experienced racing with each other, so they shouldn't collide. But if they did, that would just be the typical end for how their season's gone. But what they need to do now is just bring it home and equal 3rd in the league championship they'd be happy with. I mean, I think on count back, BPRL would take it, I believe. I'm not entirely certain, though. 1 and a bit laps to go. Dizzy will have started his final lap. Well and truly in the lead. The F1 League only gaining points through him today, but obviously that's not a worry to them because they've got the championship already sewn up. And look at them. You know what? I think they might just go for it anyway. I'm not sure how many podiums the pair of them have got, but it has been a season where they have struggled. Let's have a look. Cyril Rosberg hasn't actually got a podium yet. He's only got 10 points to his name, so you know what? I think Cyril Rosberg might just go for it here, whatever, and just want this podium desperately. Cyril Hamilton's only got 1 to his name as well, but Cyril Rosberg will be desperate to end a poor season. He's gone down the inside. Cyril Hamilton not backing out, though. Oh, this is so tense. If they crash, it'll be unbelievable. But I think they've negotiated it safely. Rosberg is through for now. Cyril Hamilton on the DRS, though. He's not giving up. He's looking. He's going to the inside. And he's got the move, but Cyril Rosberg is looking to the outside now. Should have a good run now. Cyril Rosberg round the outside. We've seen Cyril Hamilton defend into here though, and he's pretty good at it. Cyril Rosberg's going to go for it though. He swoops round the outside and gets the move done. Well done, good move. And yeah, as I've said, great respect between the two of them, and they've raced each other for a long time, and Cyril Rosberg has got through safely to claim his first podium. Sam and Cyril Hamilton have collided, which is a bit odd, but Dizzy has claimed the victory. Burnout will come through for 2nd, and then it'll be the Cyril boys, very close, a good battle there at the end. I'm glad we had that. 3rd and 4th, and they get equal 3rd in the championship with BPRL, if I am correct, which I hope I am. Mike Marshmallow is in 5th, Jay Pierce is in 6th, but he's under pressure here from RBZ. Obviously we know Rapid's disconnected, but RBZ has stayed in the race and managed to catch up to Jay Pierce. Jay Pierce holds the position for now, going through the chicane. I'm not sure who's chasing who here. To be honest, actually, Jay Pierce might have been chasing and past RBZ, but they are close nonetheless, and the battle is on here for... It says that he's in 7th, but he's definitely in 6th, as Z Race is disconnected. Will RBZ go for it? Obviously, SRL were actually close to CRL going into this round, but they've claimed many less points than CRL this time out, so they've lost out on that opportunity. Jay Pierce is going to take 6th position. Stopmat has left the session, but I believe he took the checkered flag. RBZ's been disqualified round the final corner, so I don't get how that... that doesn't make any sense, but I'm sure he'll be reinstated with that. And there is your final podium. And oh my goodness me, look at... how many penalties do you want? Someone get the race director, that is carnage. Oh my goodness me, Mike has gone up to 3rd. Sam is in 6th, having made 0 stops. So the timing screens are completely messed up there. RBZ will probably be reinstated. All these penalties are just an absolute load of rubbish, I would say. Probably. So I was going to read you through the results, but that's not really very helpful, to be honest, what we've been given here. So we know that Pro Racing, Mighty Midget, Rapids, Z Racers all didn't finish. And then the order after that was Dizzy, Burnout, Rosberg, Hamilton, Mike, J. Pierce, RBZ, and Stopmat. But maybe Sam wasn't appearing all race in the position he was because he was actually in 6th. So maybe that 6th position from Sam is actually correct. I have no idea. And with that, goodbye! No, I'm not going to say that. I don't know how to end this now because I was going to do a rundown of the championship. But with those results so thrown in the air, I'm not sure whether that is actually going to be the case. And obviously, as the standings haven't actually been updated from last round, it's quite hard to tell you what has happened anyway. So, put in the chat now, would you like to see a ULC season review stream? And I would have been happy to do it now, do the rundown of the season now. But if I can't tell you the final standings, it might be worth doing it in a review stream. So put it in the comments now. Would you like to see a season review once we've got the result of this race and the result from the previous race onto the standings? And obviously this one could take a lot of figuring out after all those penalties. So yeah, we've got 2 people already saying yes, they want to see a season review. Yes. So people like the idea of it, so we will do that instead. I will run you through the full standings sometime in the future. Obviously I can't do it now because we don't know anything. So I'll do it later. So we can give you accurate information on how the season's gone. But what we do know is that the F1 League have won the Drivers' and the Leagues Championship. RRL are definitely 2nd. 3rd, we don't know. It's very close between BPRL and CRL. SRL are then next. And then Formula Xbox and UCRC round out everyone else. But I've really got to find out what actually happened in that race, what the actual result is. So I've got a lot of work to do by the seams of it. There's going to be a lot of counting on the race director, I feel, and a lot of discussing, why were you disqualified in the last lap? Why weren't you showing up on screen? So, yeah. Yippee. Yippee for me. So I will see you all later for review review stream later on. I'm not sure when it'll be. Probably not on a Thursday, probably just as soon as possible, so maybe Monday or something. I'll try and get a stream together for then. Someone's put Casey Wow in the stream chat. And just kind of a laughing face, sums up my life. Everyone laughing at me. I will see you then for that. Hard work incoming in the chat. Someone's put yes. Yes, very much so. See you guys later. Sorry, I did that thing again.